And here we go on the Hey Mary Kay edition of the Orange and Brown Talk podcast. Our Football Insider subscriber sent us in some questions. Let's get right to it. And we'll start with Jay from Canton, Ohio. And he has a question about Baker Mayfield and his contract. So there's some numbers floating out there, some reports here and there, pinning like $30 to $35 million to Baker Mayfield. Just aside from that, Mary Kay, let's talk about this contract and how this shoulder impacts it. So Jay says, hey, Mary Kay, if you were Baker Mayfield's camp right now with his injured shoulder, would you sign an offer in the mid to high $30 million contract range? And I'll just tack on to that. What do you think the Browns are looking to do right now with that contract?
Well, you know what? These are all great questions. And I really do think that that the shoulder injury and the slow start to this season has thrown a bit of a monkey wrench into the plans, because the plan was that right around the trade deadline, which is coming up here pretty soon on November 2nd, both sides had really kind of planned to be sitting down, having substantive talks by then. And of course, we know what the going rate is for the class of 2018 franchise quarterbacks. It's in the $43 million range for Josh Allen, and it will be similar, I believe, for Lamar Jackson. Now, Baker Mayfield doesn't have the resume that those two guys have, so he probably would have come in under that. But this shoulder injury and the slow start, I think, puts this thing on hold a little bit. I don't think anybody is rushing to the bargaining table right at the moment. I think that Baker Mayfield wants to be negotiating from a position of strength. And I think the Browns want to know that they have, that they have a good, healthy quarterback, and that everything's going to be fine, and that he's going to be playing the way that they expect him to play. So this could be a situation where they let the season play out and see how everything goes, and then get back at it in the offseason. I don't know that is going to be the case, but I feel like that might be the way this is headed. Now, in terms of the money, I think mid to high 30s right now would actually be, really good. And I think that, I think Baker's camp would be happy with something like that. But like I said, because they have picked up the 5th-year option for 2022, I don't think that there's a sense of urgency to get this thing done. This might be, let's wait and see and get back at it in the offseason.
Yeah, so I've been thinking about this because of this injury and how it could affect Baker beyond just, what we've seen the last, missing this game and then the previous games that he played. You'll be going into this offseason, even if he ends up playing, and into year 5, not really fully knowing who Baker Mayfield is. Do you think that presents a problem for the Browns, or do you think that they believe in him regardless?
I'll tell you what, from everything that I'm hearing, they still believe that he is the guy that can bring them, take them to and win Super Bowls. It's my understanding that their faith in him hasn't been shaken. It hasn't wavered at all. But as I watch these games on Sundays, and when I see a guy like Joe Burrow beating the Ravens yesterday, right? Yesterday, I was thinking to myself, right at this moment, if we had to do a quarterback draft in the AFC North, Baker might come in third, right? Baker might come in third. And I think because of that, that you might have to think a little bit about that long-term blockbuster contract. Now, I've had other people talk to me about other ways that you can do this. And other ways that you can go about this would be to franchise him after the option year. And then you can franchise him again after the first franchise year. So you could hang on to him for 3 more years after this without having to shell out the enormous signing bonus that you would have to give him with an extension. Now, having said that, I don't think that's how the Browns want to do business. I think that's how a team would want to do business if they weren't so invested in Baker Mayfield, if they hadn't necessarily drafted him themselves, but Andrew Berry was on the staff when he was drafted. I still think they do believe in him. I think they want to wrap him up to a long-term contract extension.